So people are freaking out because the Mayo Clinic is getting rid of overnight respiratory therapists. And I bet you the reason why a lot of people are freaking out is because they're thinking of the Mayo Clinic. They're thinking of one of the main campuses that has a big ICU with vented patients and a busy ER with cardiac arrest coming in and that kind of stuff. But if you read the news article, you know that's actually not what's happening at all. They're removing overnight respiratory therapists from 3 very small hospitals, each with less than 100 beds, one that's actually a critical access hospital. And based on the memo that they put out, the 3 of these hospitals had, quote, a demand of between 0 and 10 respiratory patients per month. Meaning that at like bare minimum 20 days out of the month, the overnight RT at these places was doing like nothing. Okay, there was a 0 demand. And what you have to understand about these really small hospitals is, let's say there is an emergency. Let's say a patient comes in that is really unstable. Guess what? These small hospitals are going to ship them out for higher level of care immediately. Those patients are not going to stay there any longer than it takes for the flight team to get there. And if it really comes down to it, there is going to be a physician that is capable of intubating that patient, putting them on a ventilator, and managing the ventilator long enough to get them out of there. You really don't need an RT to make that happen, okay? And what's happening here is they're replacing these overnight RTs with basically a like virtual helpline kind of thing, or sort of like a FaceTime like video call system. And actually, I think that's a good thing, because don't get me wrong, I want RTs to have jobs, but I want us to have useful jobs where we're actually doing something. And if you told me that my critical access hospital job was now becoming a work from home telehealth job, I'd be super excited about it. And you know, some people might think this is some sort of like money grabbing scheme or whatever, just to save cost on labor. And yeah, maybe there's an element to that. I have no idea. But honestly, I think it's a good thing, because you have to realize there's a huge shortage of RTs, and in these smaller places especially, it is extremely hard to recruit RTs. It's hard enough in big cities already. So I feel like this is kind of a compromise to work with the resources that these places have, especially when there is no demand.